What is the Habs on the Crabs? Episode 290 and more. We back in the building, cuss.
Back with another one.
Another one. That was terrible.
That was terrible.
Awful.
That was
Sorry, DJ
okay.
Khaled. If you ever listen to this, I'm
don't
just
even
not.
mention his name.
You're not allowed to speak his name anymore. You know, I still haven't been able to put it in context. I think it's over for me.
I don't think it's over
I think
for you.
glasses is the way to go for the rest of my life.
I don't think it's over
Forever.
for you. No. Anyways.
This is the 90 and more podcast video.
From the ASMR Avengers.
Yeah, you know, we do our thing out here. And
Your
it's
glasses are dirty AF, bro.
You had to put. She had to put me on camera. You had to say that. You can wait until after.
I'm sorry, I didn't even
I can
notice
see
them
perfectly
now.
fine. I'm also gonna put the game back on too, just so you know.
I would not while we're watching. No, I'm not. I'm not playing with you.
No, I got you. I just want to watch the end of the game.
I'm sorry. You wanted to do the podcast right now.
Oh my god. OMG. All right. So the 90 and more part. What's up? Oh, always getting me. I'm your man, Bo. Catch me on Instagram at Merrill Productions. We're at the ASMR Avengers. We also do a lot of reaction videos like every day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm your girl, Louise. You can catch me on Instagram and Instagram only at ANWEEZYYY. And if you catch that down below.
Whoa. Snack.
I don't know. It just
Scuba
came
snacks?
out. You know, I drank a lot of coffee. I chugged it. And then I worked out.
Oh, sounding like a poor decision?
Yeah. You know, my stomach's not feeling the greatest. I ate a little bit for dinner, and now I'm like, bleh.
Yeah, it's good. It's good news.
Yeah.
She pukes on camera. You guys want $100 for watching. So the and more portion we're gonna touch on. So we did 90 and more, but like last week we didn't get into the and more because
I just talked a lot.
I'm not gonna confirm or deny what happened last week.
I talked a lot. I gave a lot of background. I feel like people who don't know the show should hear us.
I mean, yeah,
No?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I let it ride. I didn't say
I'm
nothing.
cool with it.
I was a Jeezy about it.
The and more though, I think that we are going to do like relationship stuff or even kind of like
couple stuff. Am I the
asshole
Reddit?
Ashhole.
Am I the asshole Reddit?
Ashhole.
You love that Reddit. So for those that don't use Reddit, like Reddit's got everything.
They have forums for
you can't go there and not find something.
Mm-hmm.
But she reads "Am I the asshole Reddit?" which basically
AITA.
H.
Mm-mm.
Oh, huh. I can't spell.
That's okay.
Which basically is questions that people send in about situations that are happening in relationships they have with their parents sometimes, with their
families, whatever, their friends. And so I've got a few that I'd like to talk about. I pulled 3.
Let's do it.
And I want to get your kind of reaction if you think they're ATH.
Speak.
AITA.
Let's go.
Alrighty. So the first one is am I the asshole for continuing to refuse to speak to my adopted sister for something she did 5 years ago?
Depends
Based off the title.
Well, it depends on what
do
it
you
is.
think they're an asshole?
It's possible because there are things you can do that will cause you to stop talking to somebody forever. So I got to hear the story.
Alrighty. Here it goes. When I was 8, my parents, mom and stepdad, adopted my sister Chloe, who was 12 at the time. We also have a brother who is 13. Our current ages are 29 me, 33 Chloe, and 34 my brother. Chloe had a pretty hard life before she came to live with my family, and so my parents were overly lenient with her and tried to compensate for her tough start in life. They gave her whatever she wanted, even if it meant taking something from me or my brother, although it was usually my stuff she wanted. Eventually, when I was 14, I moved in with my biological father and stepmom because I couldn't handle living with Chloe anymore.
I'm going to just say right here before you go any further, resentment's been building up.
Oh, yes.
So this has been a long time coming. Anyway, go on.
Yes, that is 6 years.
Yeah, she's
resentment.
been building a lot. Well, it's more than that. I mean,
I'm saying from 8 to 14.
Right.
That's 8 years of resentment.
Yeah.
Over the years, even after I had moved out, Chloe has done some pretty awful things to me. I won't list them due to character limit. But
damn, that's the only thing that's out there. I just can't put it on because I definitely would.
One thing that always happened was our parents used to rug sweep everything and expect me to forgive her and apologize for her being upset. The thing that finally made me go no contact with her and very low contact with my mom is what this post is about. When I was 24,
damn.
I know it's very long. I'm sorry.
We still ain't got there.
No,
right,
we haven't
okay.
gotten there. When I was 24, I announced my engagement to my boyfriend, now husband. Everyone was happy for me except Chloe. I still remember the look she gave me when I told my mom's side of the family. I was staying over at my mom's house where Chloe still lives for a few nights, and I took off my engagement ring to wash the dishes. When I finished, I could not find the ring anywhere. I was panicking and searched the entire house for it. I spent the next few days tearing the house apart with no luck. Eventually, I had to go back home, but my mom promised to keep the lookout for it. I have never felt so much guilt as when I had to explain to my then fiance that I lost the ring he so carefully designed for me. He assured me it was okay. He'll have another ring made if my mom couldn't find it by the end of the week. That's a good husband. Like, one engagement ring, you lost it. You haven't even gotten married yet, and he's like, "I'll buy you another."
If you have the money to be that husband,
of course.
Because if you ain't got the money for that, it's like you do what?
She couldn't, and he ended up getting me a second different engagement ring.
Wow. See, yeah, he got bread.
Fast forward to a few months, my parents invite me and my fiance over to dinner. During the dinner, I notice Chloe is wearing my engagement ring. I explode. I demand she give me the ring back and called her some nasty words.
Yeah,
she feigns innocence and says she bought the same ring and it wasn't my original ring.
Come on, man.
But that it isn't possible since my husband had the ring custom made. My mom tries to defend her and claims she found the ring after my husband already ordered the second one, so thought it wouldn't make a difference. Eventually, my husband threatened to call the police if she didn't return it, as he had proof of ownership and she gave it back. My stepdad kicked us out and I went no contact. Recently, my mom reached out to me on behalf of Chloe, saying she wanted to talk and make amends for all the bad things she's done in the past.
Why didn't she pick up the phone?
Apparently, she is desperate to reconnect with me and my brother. He is also in no contact with my mom's side of the family. Am I the asshole for refusing?
No.
I agree.
I agree. I will say this, like, I think she needs to move on from all of the resentment she has about her sister over the years. There's clearly some bad things have happened, so I'm not saying she should just forget about it. But at some point, like, it does, you know, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be mad about this stuff forever? But yeah, her not talking to her, no problem with that.
I agree that maybe she should just let it go. But at the time, her sister was 27. And stole her little sister's engagement ring.
Yeah, no, it shows the immense amount of jealousy she has for her. And it shows that in fact that the parents knew she had it and
didn't say anything.
And kind of covered for her, like, well, you'd find the other one. I'm cutting them off too. Those are facts.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think that she is completely right for being very low contact with her mom and being no contact with her sister.
You know?
Oh, I would have called the police.
I'm just like, she ain't beat her down.
Ugh.
I'd have ripped it off her finger.
I'm gonna say nah. Like, NTA, not the asshole. No, you're good to go.
Not at all. And I think she should maintain the no contact, especially with her.
And very low contact with her mother.
Yeah, your parents, you know, but no, I wouldn't be speaking to her. I've gone long periods of time without messing with family members over less than that.
Well, and my thing is, it's been over 20 years of them doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this woman can take your engagement ring, knowing it's your engagement ring, something that is very dear to you, and hold it and keep it, and then wear it in front of your face.
Yeah, and I think the wearing it part is like, you don't respect her at that point.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's one thing to steal it and then maybe pawn it because you're like, you got a drug addiction or something. And not that that's okay, but I'm just saying, like, that's more like that's horrible. But hopefully she gets better and she stops.
Right. But you can be mad. But like you were real bold. A lot of cojones on you.
There's no respect. And I think the sister would have also been right if she just punched her in the mouth and took it. My own personal opinion. You still my effects and have the nerve. Well, for me, it's like, you don't respect me enough, so I got to make you.
No, totally get
you
that.
Know what I mean?
At the same time, I feel like because her sister is super entitled, and the mother is also that way, they would have called the police, and then she would have ended up in a
beat her, take the ring, and hop in the car and leave.
I don't know. All right.
So no, and I think what we should do is we should also like send these to the people that posted them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes they don't want their story like reread. So.
Oh, I never thought. Well, you should put it in a public forum. Anyway, go on. That's fine.
They said please don't use my story on things. It's fine. And not all of them say that. I'm just saying that some of them do. So like, I'd rather not.
Now that you said that,
I don't want to piss people off because I frequent this Reddit a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to be banned.
Okay, so the next one is, am I the asshole for telling my friend they couldn't bring their dog over anymore since my lease contract changed?
Is there any?
That's just the title. How we feeling on the title?
Doesn't sound like she's
Okay.
I mean, okay, I'll get into my feelings on pets and traveling with them after.
Right. Okay. For the last few months, I've been letting my friend bring their dog over whenever they come over for weekly dinners. My apartment manager was fine with it. I would also watch a family member's dog when they had to go out of town for work, as long as we cleaned up after the said animal. When my contract renewed, it stated in bold print, absolutely no pets or visiting pets without paying the pet deposit. I know, super weird. Before I signed, I talked to the manager about previous arrangements. She told me it came down from the property owner and she had to enforce it. So I texted my friend and family member and told them I could no longer have their dogs over until further notice. Family member was cool with it. I thought the friend was fine. I signed the contract. You better turn that off. Fast forward a month or so, a friend starts asking when they can bring their dog back over. I say they can't and let it go. Fast forward a couple more weeks. A friend tells me they've called my property office and gets routed to security office, which says they aren't on the lookout for visiting pets. They don't see a problem with it because friend tells the security that the dog is a service animal, and it's not. Friend tells me they have planned to Friend tells me they plan to talk to my property manager about the situation. At this point, I'm pissed and tell the friend that it's my contract and I'm not risking violation or eviction for their pet. Friend swears I told him it was only a temporary situation and I never said it was in the contract. Yet my spouse and my child remember it being said. Now friend isn't speaking to me. Am I the asshole?
No. I mean, are you a little extreme about rules? Yes. But do I blame you for not wanting to get kicked out of your apartment? No. How weird is it that so who is this friend and why are they calling your apartment?
That's the red flag for me. Yeah. You're calling my apartment and talking to the security guard. Are you a psycho?
Yeah, that indicates a loss of a friendship.
You have crossed a lot of boundaries.
Friendship rights revoked.
Yeah, no, I'm taking my friendship card. You are violating a lot of boundaries. It's not up to you. I set the boundary. Hey, until further notice, I can't have your dog there. She did say that the reason why she said until further notice was what she does see that could kind of construe it like maybe eventually. She said that she meant that if she decided to pay the deposit because she was going to get her child a pet.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's a different story. But my thing is like, how long are dinners anyway?
A couple hours.
If your pup can't most pups can hold it a couple hours, can't they? I don't understand why the dog has. I know some people treat their pets like family, and I got no problem with that. But you got to have a little bit of reality, you know?
Yeah. So
and you guys' friendship is weird. The minute you call them people, the friendship was odd. I thought it was like a boyfriend or something, like somebody that was smushing or something, because doing that, like,
then you're over there for extended periods of time. That would make sense.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, but if it's a homie that comes to eating dinner, like,
the Reddit community is saying maybe the friend should pay the pet deposit then if it's such a big deal.
That's an option.
I wouldn't. Then because they feel like they have a part in your apartment, and I don't like that. Like they contributed to it.
I mean, I just don't understand how significant the friendship has to be for that person to feel like
they have a right.
They have to call and say, hey, what's your rules on this? The person said,
like, hey, how strict are you?
You're not respecting the person because the person said that.
Right.
So regardless, they've set the precedent for their house. So.
And why would you, knowing that it's your friend's apartment could potentially get them kicked out, why would you be willing to risk that?
Because they want to fight over there, man.
Okay, well, Cujo could stay home.
Cujo.
All right,
how many more you got?
This is last one.
Cool.
All right.
Perfecto.
Am I the asshole for half-assing my husband's dinners? Turn it off.
I'm going to check the score, bro. You got to allow me that. I'm not watching.
Pull up ESPN on your computer. I don't have to see it that way.
It's on my computer. What is it about? Yeah, eyeballs get by. All right, anyway, go on. Love you.
Okay. Alrighty. So am I the asshole for half-ashing my husband's dinners?
I wouldn't. Is that it, or is there
That's
a story?
Question. There's a story, but
yeah, no. I mean, at this point, I don't think so. Everybody has. I mean, you can't have gourmet food every night.
And my thing is, like, if he's not making it, then like he should be happy that he's even getting food.
Or he could dial up something, man. I mean, yeah. So no, I don't think so. But let's see what the story says.
So she is 28 and she's a female. Her husband's 32. And they have 2 children together. He has one from a previous relationship who stays with us 3 days out of the week.
The blended families.
So technically they have 3.
Got
10, 6, 4.
Got it.
My children are fussy, but it's not in a bad way. They won't eat certain processed foods like chicken nuggets. And the sad part is the children are so much more open to eating new things now that he is.
I mean, no disrespect, but what kind of kids don't eat chicken nuggets?
Some might not like the texture.
That's fair.
They'll eat olives, asparagus, prawns, salmon, oysters, which all of those things her husband will not touch.
Oh, well, I mean, he already being picky.
Okay. When I met my husband, he literally lived off pot noodles and takeout, and that's unhealthy enough without all the salt he adds that he smothers everything with butter. Whatever, be a fussy eater, cook your own food is the way I see it. He won't cook for himself. He walks the dogs instead. We own a lurcher and a GSD, so it's a pain in the butt. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Big breed dog sounds like.
GSD?
Great Dane, I was thinking.
Oh, maybe. As an example, I made a salad for us and the children, and he refused to eat it because I put mayonnaise with it. only because he threw a hasty fit over celery. He had it for lunch the next day. I cooked pasta. He wouldn't eat it because I used the wrong pasta. But then he had it as a snack. Everything I do is wrong and picked apart by him. I'll do eggs, and all of a sudden he doesn't like the way I do them, so I stopped trying to make his food better. I made homemade chips.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, there's a lot more
Sorry,
to
this
it.
is like really poorly written,
Well,
and I'm trying to piece it together.
Well, and I think the message is clear. Dude complains about everything, so my thing is stop cooking for him, period.
Okay, so he went on to say, why are the children's dinners so much nicer than his? And I told him that I'm done, and other than making sure that the food is cooked, she's not going out of her way to make his food any nicer. Well, he's upset and has gone back to eating noodles, claiming she's the asshole for being petty, and that I married him knowing he's a fussy eater, so I shouldn't change my mind.
You know what? Something I realized over the course of our marriage, and I think marriages in general, you know, the way you are going into a relationship is not the way you will come out of it.
Of course not.
And,
people evolve.
Well, and the thing is she started to realize this dude's an idiot. I'm not going to keep doing this constantly for him to tell me it's wrong. I think he's got to grow up a little bit, and I think you should stop even let him live off the pot noodles. Let him do his thing. I mean, we tell our kids, you eat or don't.
But that's it, right?
Like, we're not doing all this extra.
Or you can make something yourself. We definitely give that option.
Bowls of cereal, man.
Yeah,
run it.
absolutely. Go have some Lucky Charms. I don't care.
Yeah, it's so dude's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know, and I'm surprised she's still even trying. I would have given up.
And so a lot of them, the top comment is, it goes, info, is your husband more or less than 3 years old?
That's true though. That is some little kid stuff. Like, no adult should be like, even like, God bless you when I cook. I'm not a great cook. I'm a
You're
5.
better.
I'm at a 5 out of 10. Okay, I'm failing, but you'll stomach it. You'll pick around what you don't like, and you'll try your best. I mean, and you'll say nothing. You be like, hey, thanks for trying. You know. So,
well, my thing is just like how ridiculous. Like, you don't like. I guess what makes me even more mad about the situation is that he'll eat the leftovers for lunch.
Of course he will. It ain't that bad.
No.
Remember what we always say to the kids too? Is like, if you don't want that, you ain't that hungry.
Sorry, because they'll come down and they'll be like, I'm hungry. We'll have a piece of fruit. I don't want fruit. Okay, then that's your only option.
Yeah, you'll get there.
I don't know what to tell you. So, I mean, yeah, everyone's saying that she's not his mom.
I also wonder if it's indicative of like other problems in their relationship. Because in my opinion, it's really weird to zero in on something like that, especially knowing that they've got 3 kids in the house anyway. Like, you're not being any kind of like partnershipy. Because at least he could say, well, if I cook this, will you do this to it? Like, he could assist somewhere in the process to maybe make it easier for himself.
Right.
But he's not doing that. He's just complaining. So
because it sounds like whatever she does, like maybe she did start cooking separate things from him, and he was just like, I don't like that anymore. Or even she said that she started cooking eggs, and he was like, I don't like my eggs like that. Stop it. Like, okay, well then guess what? There's the kitchen. Like
enjoy your pot noodles, man. Get your takeout. Do what you got to do. So no, she's not. None of these have been.
No, I was trying to find some bad ones, but
no, these were all good. I mean, good situations, but yeah, I don't think any of these people are wrong. You know, it's funny. A lot of these are based around setting boundaries.
Oh, absolutely. I love boundaries.
Most of these are just like, yeah, I set a boundary on this, and am I wrong for it?
Right. Well, it's just second guessing yourself, because sometimes like someone will get in your head, or you'll tell someone and they'll kind of look at you funny, like that's your hill to die on kind of thing. Yeah. And it's like, well, yeah, that's like kind of live it though. Well, that's the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Yeah. I'm sure that's not the first instance that like he's criticizing her while she's cooking and he's just hanging out.
Well, and the fact of the matter is, if she's doing it consistently and he's like consistently doesn't like it, well, the problem ends up being him. He's the common denominator.
Like, because it's okay for you not. I mean, you haven't liked certain things I make for dinner, and that's okay.
And if you ask me, I'll tell you honestly, but like, I'll still eat it. Like,
and even if you don't, then you're like, I'll eat something else.
Right? I don't. Yeah.
Like, you're not mad at me.
Make it again. Make it again. Yeah.
Thank God, because like I am not your mom.
All right, 90-day fiance.
Oh my gosh.
90-day fiance.
So we're gonna start with happily ever after.
Yeah, and one of the questions I have that we'll get to later, we're not talking about it right now, is who is the worst parent on the show of the parents? So I give 4 options. Okay, you can think about this.
I got mine already.
All right, well, I mean, we can start there. So Elizabeth's dad.
Okay.
Paul's mom.
Asuelu.
Oh, I didn't even think about them. I didn't even put them into consideration.
Oh, okay, fine.
I had Debbie, and then I had and then somebody else's mom. Let me look at my phone. I put it in there. Devin's mom.
Okay, so
we can. I think the easiest case is going to be Asuelo and them, but they're terrible. I don't even think they're worth. You think they're worth discussing?
They are definitely worth discussing.
Okay, all right. So throw them in the mix. So we got 5 then. I'll run through them again real quick while you form.
Oh no, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we got Asuelo's parents. We got Devin's mom, Paul's mom, Colt's mom, Debbie, and who's the 5th?
Libby.
And Libby's dad. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just straight off nix Devin's mom and Jihoon's mom. I'm gonna nix them off.
Okay. Why the early mix?
Although they're terrible.
Okay.
On the grand scheme of parents on the show, they are the least terrible, right?
So you think
at least Devin's mom has a reason to be mad at Jihoon because he's lied, and she's moved to Korea like 4 times.
All right. Okay.
So
all right, you're selling me on that. You're selling me.
I'm just gonna and Jihoon's mom is just nuts. Like he has a good dad, but she's just nuts, and
she's.
I don't have the energy for that wicked woman.
She's waste management-esque in my opinion,
bro.
Or public services-esque.
Cut the umbilical cord. That's all.
Snip. All right.
So I'm just gonna throw them by the wayside. They don't matter to me. Debbie, you know, I have mixed.
Don't propose.
I you know when she was saying that, I was like, propose. I hope that he proposes and that you die, you old bat.
Okay, it's time to go, Colt. I gotta go.
We have to catch our flight, Colt. Mine is going to be between Asuelu's mom and sister.
Okay.
And Libby's dad.
Okay. I got Libby's dad up there too.
He pisses me off. And same with Chuck. He is Chuck, Charlie. Yeah. But I have interesting news on that. So if you want to start there, I would love to start there. Also, Asuelu's mom.
I got Tanya and Sinjin up on the board right now.
It's a CUNT. CUNT.
Wow. See you next Tuesday?
Yeah, sorry. For some reason, it wasn't like registering.
Okay, but who's the worst though? You got to pick a worst. Are you going Asuelo and them? Or are you going Chuck?
I'm going Chuck and Charlie. Reason being is they're much, much more involved in their life than Asuelu's parents or mom and sister are.
I actually got to go. I think I got to go Debbie.
Really?
So here's why. I want to break down a few things. So as far as Chuck is concerned, I think he is amenable to being more of a better figure if Andre would just show him the respect he needs. Because Chuck has done a lot for them. He's given his daughter a job. He's paid for houses. He's tried to help Andre. He's done a lot, and Andre has never shown him any respect.
Right.
Since day one. But I feel like if he did and their relationship improved because he started showing more respect, I think their whole family dynamic would improve. Because Andre came into the whole thing kind of rough with the whole family.
Of course.
So you make it up with the patriarch, and then you start smoothing things over. I think they'll be okay.
I think that whole family is just hypocritical, and I can't stand it, and I really hate it. And they allude to a lot because I think Andre really does love Elizabeth.
I think so too. Yeah, I think he.
And they are really insinuating that he's just here for the green card, and I think that's why he's so angry.
Well, and it's funny too because when you see him in Moldova, he'd much rather be there. So I can see his frustration because it's no. I don't have anything to do with your country.
I am strictly there because my wife and my daughter. That is it.
So watching the last episode, we'll get to this. I don't want to touch on it too much, but my feelings toward Andre are still. I still don't like him, but
he has been dealt.
Seeing some reasons.
I think that you're gonna
back off a little bit.
You're gonna back off even more so after what I have to tell.
All right, that'll be interesting. Okay, so you want to start there? You want to start with the whole thing, or can we work our way there? Because I got Sinjin and them up on the board.
If you have them up on the screen, I'm more than happy to start with them. All
right, let's start there then. Did we get a lot of updates from their last episode? I don't feel like they were a central figure in the last one.
He
was out drinking.
Yeah, so he's in South Africa, and he was just out drinking with his friends. They're asking, "Are you happy? You've gained a lot of weight, po' boy."
They were gunning him on the gut he had.
And and obviously some of his American traits are coming out because he is now talking about 30 pounds instead of I don't know if they're stone or kilos out there.
No, he said 15 kg at one point.
Yeah, which is 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So yes. So basically, Tanya's just hanging out with his family, going shopping and stuff like that while he's going out with the friends and kind of just having his own good time. And
yeah, not a lot moved in the episode. I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on them. I think it's really going to get popping in the next one coming up here. We see her crying. We see them arguing at the dinner table. Him saying, if it's going to be like this, I don't want it.
So basically,
I don't see how he makes it back to America. And if he does, the unhappiness, he's gonna be so unhappy.
Yeah. So basically, in the next episode, Tanya. Okay, I'm reading some of this stuff off a blog called "Oh No They Didn't."
Spoilers. Are we giving out spoilers?
No, it's not
now?
spoilers.
Okay.
It's just like a synopsis from the next one.
Okay.
It says Tanya, whose life goal is to become a witch doctor in Connecticut.
I don't think that's fair though. I think she wants to do holistic medicine.
She lives in Connecticut.
Is a poor phrase.
Anyways, argues with St. John and cries in front of his entire family because she says St. John has no real career direction. Which I believe is true.
She ain't lying.
You know what? So.
Oh, that's why the point of the witch doctor thing is because like what's hers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so basically they're asking, "Are you happy in America?" And he goes, "No." And we learned kind of like past history that it was mainly lust. When obviously we could see that it was mainly lust when they got together
he kept
in Australia.
About the sex. He mentioned like 3 times.
He said that. What did he say? So basically, he moved her into his apartment with his friends,
right.
And she was there 2 months. And his friend making it absolutely clear that he couldn't stand her, couldn't stand her. She moved in and started policing her own their behavior.
She doesn't seem like the most fun person to be around.
She is, I think, very controlling. I think she'd be a lot of fun in like a controlled type setting. But like, I think
she's fun when she drinks. I think outside of that, she's probably not that great of a time.
Yeah, he said that he admits that in the beginning it was just a lust bubble, but the sex was super, super good, and then he kind of fell in love.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know if he's going to leave South Africa.
Yeah, I don't know if he. I don't think. I mean.
And says that they rushed into marriage because technically they only had 60 days in America before they got married.
Yeah, because she went and did that 30-day stint in Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see how he makes it out of South Africa. And if he makes it out of South Africa, I see him becoming an absolute train wreck when they get back. I mean, he thinks she drinks a lot now. I think that's going to go off the rails.
Yeah, I think that once she sees, like, at the tell-all, she's going to beat his ass.
If she can. Her foot's still kind of busted.
She will hit him with the cast.
Up there.
She crazy.
But see, I don't think it's his fault. I think it's her fault I think she pressed him on the marriage thing. I mean...
And the babies. And
I think he should have held his ground and said, no, I'm good.
Well, it is very much Tanya's way. I do feel like that because they were supposed to move to a warmer climate. But then she was like, well, I can't now because I broke my foot.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, like, warmer climate, like you're in Connecticut, like it snows there.
Yeah,
like,
that's the complete opposite of a warm climate.
Of where you want to be. And he wants that warmness because obviously he's from South Africa.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we offered him. I don't think St. John makes it out of South Africa. I think he...
I don't think so either.
All right, we're moving on. Now your folks. Holla at your folks.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're talking about this happily ever after. We alluded to them earlier. Now let's get into a deep dive. Elizabeth Andre. And what's a little Eleanor? I'm not calling her Ellie.
No, she's Eleanor.
They tried to take her
so obviously in this last episode, we do see that Andre is kind of talking his way out of the whole drunken mess where he almost fought Charlie. He does admit that was the alcohol talking. That he does feel kind of bad about it.
Yeah.
And that, but Libby's like, you need to make it right with my parents.
Yeah. Mind you, she never once corrected him. She went over there and talked to them and just let them say how it was his fault and never said another word.
And she's like, I've never seen you act like that. So enraged. I don't even know who you are. And then he was like, okay, I'll apologize to them, set up the meeting. She goes over there, shit talks with her family and sets up the meeting. Because they're alluding to the fact, like, does he abuse you? Like, that's how I felt the conversation was steered. Like, Does he do that when you guys argue? Does he do that when you ask him questions?
I mean, you can't be mad at them for asking that question, though.
I mean,
dude was wilding.
Everybody was drunk, though.
Yeah, but they never seen him act like that. I don't think that was...
And so, when they meet, so Andre, Chuck, and Charlie all meet, and Andre does apologize to him, right? He does say he's sorry, that it was the alcohol. But he also...
I like the part where he walked up, he's like, y'all want to do nuts? And they were just like...
Nah, bruh. No, keep your hands here.
So I was dying.
Well, no, he was like, we'll see how this conversation goes.
I was like, okay.
And awkward. And so he apologizes, but he's like, hey, you guys also owe me an apology. And then Chuck, Libby's dad, is like, I knew you weren't going to take responsibility for anything.
Yeah.
But it was like... They do owe him an apology. Like, they went after him.
I don't know so much that Chuck owed him an apology because I don't remember Chuck saying a lot of like...
He crossed the line by asking so many questions.
I think where Chuck was wrong is he didn't control his son.
I agree.
And he should have been like, all right, Charlie, that's enough, man. We asked the question. He ain't got to answer. Let's move on. But Charlie definitely owed him an apology.
Oh, they were trying to square up.
Yeah, he 100% owed him, but they were both wrong in that situation. I didn't like how they ganged up on him. I will give Andre his credit. I was talking mad stuff last week about Andre, and I haven't shifted that much off of that. But I will say it could have gotten popping again, but he chose to keep it cool. Now, granted, he's got $20,000 on the line for the wedding or whatever they're gonna pay for it. So he has a little bit more of an incentive to keep it peaceful. But they were kind of pushing him there where he could have been like, "Yo," I saw him a couple times kind of go,
"All right." Like, yeah, no, he was trying to bite his tongue.
Okay,
he knew what he needed to do, and so basically, on this blog, which I didn't even know about these things, it says that they're trying to allude that he has a deep dark secret of why he moved to Ireland from Moldova. Mm-hmm. But she says it's really not fair, and she wishes that Andre's family used social media a little more because Family Libby, which now Family Chantel,
the Family Libby,
Family Libby has quite the dark past with multiple arrest records and shady business dealings.
I mean, but who though? We got
all right. I'm getting into it right now. Alrighty. So, it is quite unfair that they keep saying that Andre has some weird intentions when, in fact, Chuck was faced with contempt of court for not paying $17,564 in missed child support payments.
Missed child support?
Yes.
Who's he paying child support
I don't know. And then the Florida resident, him, is also being accused of running a scam through his current business, the CDC Capital Investments, LLC. According to
Bernie Madoff? Is that who he is?
I don't know. According to some complaints that have been filed with the Better Business Bureau, several tenants claim that the properties that they rented through Chuck's company were in the process of foreclosure, causing them to be forced to move out with very, very little notice.
So he's buying cheap properties and putting people in them.
And then some people even received letters from the landlord threatening to charge 3 times the normal amount of court costs if they did not vacate the premises by a certain date.
Wow.
When the renters had tried to get information from Chuck and his son Daniel, they were allegedly met with radio silence.
Hey, why don't Andre have the internet? He should know all of this, man.
And so a lot of the Yelp reviews for his community are really, really negative, that they're evil folks moved into a rental property. Less than 6 months later, they get charged with termination of lease, giving them 2 weeks to move, claiming the house was sold. Found out the house was foreclosed on, and no one bothered to tell them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
3 of Elizabeth's siblings have been arrested on driving-related charges.
Driving-related charges?
Yes. So, Charlie and Jen were both booked on 2005 driving record revoked, canceled, or suspended license. Also, a former DUI charge. And possession of cocaine.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
There's one. Who had the coke? They tell you?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me.
Yeah, that's
Elizabeth's sister Becky was also booked for driving without a license.
The driving stuff ain't really that big of a deal.
No, but even still.
But the cocaine one is interesting, though. Which one of y'all that are breastfeeding your child was doing coke, man?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so it's really interesting to hear Chuck say, I'm an overprotective dad. I found that it was a little strange why he'd leave such a great career and move to a foreign country. There's a lot of red flags there. And so they just say,
dirtbags, no dirtbags.
That is true. So I just thought it was really interesting that they want to be all high and mighty on Andre when they have almost all been to prison.
They have always treated him like a second-class citizen. I will admit that.
So even on the camera, Chuck and Charlie also said that when they first arrived in Moldova, they thought it was a ghetto because of where Andre's family lives. And when they saw their Airbnb, it could have fit anywhere in the U.S. Yeah. And so they thought they're kind of just saying that they are slightly a little bit racist and classless.
I mean, yeah, they definitely don't have. They're uncouth. They don't have a lot of. They need a trip through finishing school. They're not classy for sure. But Libby doesn't strike me as classy. I mean, none of them. They what they strike me as kind of like. I don't know if I want to use that term on here. WT. They just strike me as a little trashy. They don't strike me as like a classy family.
Like the ones that like have money but really don't have money.
Yeah, like they fronting. Like everything is funny. So yeah, I don't.
And so basically they ended the whole episode with them not accepting Andre's apology.
No, that's not true. The dad did.
No, he didn't. He said no, he didn't. He said that he isn't satisfied and that Andre is going to have to prove him that he is sorry.
We'll see, but they left it okay. They didn't leave it like we hate you, kick rocks.
I don't know. I agree with that. But I also don't think that they're okay by any means.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. He got to continue to be good. He can't.
So, like, what do you think? How is he going to prove himself then? Because they said over the next few days, we'll see.
He just needs to be respectful, keep his mouth shut, kind of keep his head down, man. If they, let them, when they come around, turn it off.
Okay.
Just be low key, be quiet, let them do their thing. My whole thing about this is all he has to do is get to the wedding. After the wedding's paid for, he can wild out all he wants. So I'd probably be waiting. I'd be like,
how would you feel if that was like one of the girls' husbands?
Oh, we would have addressed the way he acts a long time ago. He wouldn't have got this far with me.
But we also wouldn't have treated him that way either.
No, of course not. But the minute I saw his like, because he does chest up a lot, and he's very prideful about who he is, which I respect pride, but you got to put in the work behind the pride. Now, I don't see him as a dad. He could be the best stay-at-home dad in the face of the planet. No disrespect.
I mean, their house always looks clean. That baby's always healthy and dressed really well.
But my thing is, he don't do manly stuff. Like I wouldn't have agreed to pay for the wedding until he came to talk to me. There'd been no way.
I
girls would
agree
be like,
with that,
hey,
for sure.
My boyfriend, I'd be like, so you're here and he's not? No. Why don't you go back and tell him to come holler at me? I'm not doing that. Like,
they both should have come together.
Yeah, it wouldn't even have been a thing. So for me, I think that's why Libby's dad was up there for my worst parent on the show, because he does a lot of enabling things for his kids. He's always just jumping into paper.
She cries and he's like, I'm so sorry, baby.
I wouldn't have paid for the wedding outright. I would have been like, you know what, maybe we'll go half or something. Like I can't. You already had a wedding here. Right. Now I'm paying for another one overseas. It makes no sense. So
I mean, he can afford it because he's scamming people, so it's fine.
I mean, are those facts or allegedly type things? I don't want. Yeah, we don't need to cease and desist letter.
I'm sorry. He's allegedly scamming people.
Anything else on them?
Nah.
All right, Paul and Karina.
Oy vey.
Oy vey indeed. So here's the thing, man. So we saw last episode. Basically, they weren't a big piece of the episode, but long story short, Karina was in a mood.
Because Karina doesn't want to talk to him. That's why they weren't.
I contend she's talking to the dudes, though. I'm not going to leave that. Every time I see her, she seems suspicious to me. I don't know why. I could be wrong, but I feel like she's been doing some stuff behind his back. But she's in a bad mood. Mom's is coming over. Can y'all put mom's name in the comments? We don't know mom's name. I don't know mom's name. Wife is going to look up mom's name. In the meantime, mom's comes over. I think Karina really didn't want her to come over, but to Karina's credit, she was respectful. She said, hey, I'm in a mood. It has nothing to do with you. I just need some time. And so she starts walking up down the road. Now, here's Paul's problem. Paul always wants to fix things.
Mary.
But don't. She looks like a Mary. Paul always wants to fix things, but doesn't fix the things he needs to, like job having. And it's going to be hard. You got arsony on your record.
Work construction.
Well, you got to do something. I mean, find somebody to pay you under the table. Yeah, like you got to figure something out. But he always wants to solve Karina's problems, but he's not solving what he actually needs to solve. And so that pisses her off.
While I agree with that, I also think that he forces himself on her.
Yeah, no, but that's what I was getting to. Like, the one thing I had to learn being married, and it's still tough to do sometimes, is to learn to let go when the other person is like,
that needs space.
They need to just give her this, because the thing is she just needed a moment, man. Like, I think she might be struggling with postpartum. She's probably still tired a lot. She's probably still having all the hormones and going through that stuff.
That baby's still young, and not just that. She's in a foreign country by herself in a tin can. And
they were talking about how the train rattles the whole house. So there's probably several times a day, not sure what time, but if a loud thing shakes your house trains don't go by quick. Trains are like a 10 to 12 minute thing.
And not just that there's a baby that you're already not sleeping.
Right.
You can't go into another room.
She's away from her family, all the support she has there. She's got a ton of family over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a time difference. Yeah. And so I think also, we didn't get to see what Paul did, or like the interaction leading up to her locking herself in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So basically, she locked herself in the bathroom. He's banging on the door.
Yeah.
And then Paul's mom was coming over. She walks outside, like you said, says, "Not you, it's me. See you later." Paul's mom runs after her. Mama Mary, ran after her.
I mean, I don't have no problem with that. She's trying to check on her.
Paul said she wants to be left alone. She even Karine said, I just want to be alone. How come no one respects that poor girl?
I mean, I don't think the mom did anything wrong. She walked down, tried to talk to her. She said, no, I really don't want to talk. And she walked away. It seemed like she just was genuinely trying to check on her. I have a big deal with that, but I do have a big deal with Paul constantly being push. You know, the one thing is when you live in a small space, as we know, because at one point we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 kids and us, so we had 5 of us, and it was, 900 square feet or something? It wasn't that big.
No, it wasn't big at all.
So that exacerbates your fights. You go from like a little thing getting on your nerves to I can't get out of this house. There's too many people around me. I'm upset. I'm angry. So I think he really has to learn to chill. And the thing is like Karine is an emotional person. She really is. So you know,
and she's young. She just had a baby. Like,
you just gotta let it go, Paul. You gotta let it go. They don't have a chance, and well, we already know what's going on.
You know, and one thing that really bothered me about their episode or their little segment is they left baby Pierre
in the house by himself
on the bed by himself, and he's like 3 months, so he's like starting to roll and stuff.
And he rolls over. That's lights out.
And my thing is like, get a pack and play and do that. Like,
I thought that was weird
how
too.
Unsafe.
I thought that was weird too.
Yeah, no, not happy with that.
TLC, y'all going
yeah,
child services or what's going on?
Also, wait, can we talk about his run? Does he have something in between his bum?
Why does he run like that? I don't know.
I don't understand.
He runs like he's trying to keep it up there too. You know, like he's
right. He waddles, right? He waddle runs like I don't know. Keep your knees together. Keep the baby in. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Gym class in your life? How did you get through high school doing that?
He exits cars and he runs into the forest frequently enough. He should probably know how to run.
We're moving on. Oh God.
Wavy. Ay, Dios mío.
Oh.
How do you say it in African?
Devil.
Angela.
Yeah, man. So
Yoy.
Angela and Michael. So we saw Angela meet up with Aunt Lydia again. Meet up with Auntie again, and basically, what were they even talking about? Like they were finalizing the wedding plans.
Yeah. So
right?
she's like, "Are you?" Or Aunt Lydia was like, "Are you excited, Angela?" And Angela's like, "I'm sad, but I'm happy."
Look at him getting closer. Hello.
Hello.
That's too close, I think.
We just gotta like go that way. You have to scroll the other way.
It doesn't matter. Just keep talking.
Okay. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm sad because like no one's here from my side of the family, and my mama's gonna die, and like."
Pretty callous about that, huh?
I'm not callous about that. I just like she like slips it in everywhere, you know, which is fine. I mean, I guess if my mom was dying too, I'd probably tell everybody.
It's a sad thing.
But she's like, my mama approves of Michael and mama and whatnot. And so
anyway, they're at the table, and Michael is saying some things that are a little contrarian to what he's told her. He's basically, but what we figured out pretty quickly that dummy Angela didn't figure out is that
we have to go back. They went to pre-marriage counseling. Yes, and then she there's a theme in this. She said she doesn't understand why she has to go to pre-marriage counseling because we don't do that in America. Which it's true. It's untrue. People go to pre-marriage counseling. No?
Yeah, I didn't know that was super significant.
No, it is because it goes on later in the episode with Aunt Lydia.
Okay.
Go on.
Well, yeah. So basically, he's telling his auntie the things he needs to tell her to keep her bought in. So he says, yeah, you know, she's gonna be, you know, it'll be 50-50, but she will be more subservient and this and that. And I think he's only saying that because he knows what he needs to do to get this done. And they're crossing the finish line. They've already said they'll help pay for it. I mean, they got everything in the bag. And then this hothead woman goes off because she's like, well, you living 2 lives now, Michael. You can't be 2 places at once.
So either you're bull with your auntie or with me.
Yeah, you're BSing somebody.
Because they said in the pre-marriage counseling that the woman needs to be submissive.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah, they did say it. They said in our culture, the woman needs to submit to the man. Subservient. Yeah.
And then she goes, but that doesn't fly in the U.S. Like, luckily, we'll be living in America, so we don't have to worry about that. And that's what sets off Michael and Aunt Lydia. Because then she's like, no, a part of Nigerian culture is that the woman or the man is taken care of. The woman is submissive. That's how we do things. And then Michael...
And all she has to do is say okay.
And Michael's like... That's it. Yeah, like she will be, don't worry. And then Angela goes and takes a piss and comes back, and which is so ladylike. Sorry, I described it that way, but like she had to pee. And so then she hears Michael saying the same thing, and that's when she like really freaks out, right? And now she's screaming at Michael in front of Aunt Lydia, and how's Lydia taking it? She's like,
yeah, no, she's like, I'm out. This ain't working. And the thing is like, all she had to do was let it be. I do think Michael isn't the best communicator, because he probably should have told her, hey, look, you know, I gotta say what I gotta say to get this done, so just roll with it. But Angela has no control, man. She's so lacking on any time, and it's been tough too, because you know, I don't know if you've seen, I did some posts on the Instagram, and a lot of people have weighed in on Angela. There's been like 4 or 5 comments about Angela specifically, and how people like, I respect her and all these things, and like you said, she takes care of her family, and
she does, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't need counseling.
Like I said, that's a low bar for me. Taking care of your family is great, but disparaging other cultures because you don't understand them and you're not a part of them, and openly disrespecting the person you're supposed to love on numerous occasions doesn't make you a good person. I'm sorry. And I can't wait till they break up, because the other thing is, even if, let's say he gets here and he tries to flip his personality, right? Like he gets here and all of a sudden he's like, I'm here now. I don't think she's the one to do that with.
No, she can't.
She's not going to take it quietly. She will like run up on you.
Oh, she will. Oh, for sure. She will be calling
like,
the
cops. She's the type that will go to jail over it. She ain't.
She's going to get him shot.
So even if it works out and he makes it to the U.S., like even if that's his end goal, he don't want to change up on her. She ain't the one, man.
No. And so then Aunt Lydia obviously goes, I don't think I can support this marriage after saying this. Like, I want you to know it's that serious. And then, of course, Angela's like, wow.
I know. Well, then, we're done.
Yeah, she's like that. I'm done. And so
Michael needs to G up, man.
Even Auntie was like, yo, I thought you were gonna like stand on your own 2 feet. Like, what happened, bro?
Yeah, she sure did. It was like, nah, but he does. He has to say. There's only so many times you can tell somebody you're gonna go until you finally got to say, all right, we'll go.
We're done. That's it.
Kick the rocks, then hop on the plane, man. What? Because let's face it, these are the real facts. All right, I want you to hear me, America. Angela has no prospects. So every time that she threw that in my face, I would be so tempted to say, and do what? Who's checking for you out there?
Ain't nobody
What's
checking
the market
for you.
looking like for a loud, overweight, smoke-ridden 60-year-old white lady?
Can we talk about her bra purse?
Oh, with the two, she had the 2 packs of cigarettes.
And her cell phone.
She's so trashy.
And she's like screaming.
All she's missing is like a kiddie pool with Natty Light in it, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's it. That's all she's missing.
Yeah, no, she just, it's really astounding to me that she keeps, and I said this last episode, she is looking for a reason to end the relationship. And that is okay. Like, I think
you think so?
Yes. Because every 5 seconds she's saying, I'm done. Like,
I think that's just her unbelievable insecurity.
Yes, but I think she also knows there's some truth to that. Like, that she is very insecure that he's going to leave her because they can't have a baby. That is a very real possibility.
Well, they told her in one of the episodes before, okay, so if you can't have one, we may have to find another woman that can.
And she's like, nope. Ain't nobody gonna have me Michael's baby.
But that's the thing. Like, she don't really care about his happiness.
No, she doesn't.
She don't give it.
She just wants to be married.
Yeah, she's
to a black guy.
She's the worst. Then.
Yeah.
I can't. We could spend this whole episode talking about why I think she's awful, but I'm just gonna leave it at she's awful.
So, apparently in the next episode, Angela tells Michael to pack his stuff and GTFO. Sorry, my bad.
I sincerely hope he does it. I hope he gets his stuff and he says, all right, well, it's been real, and he's done.
Like, thank you for this time.
Go find you a Nigerian
I love my
woman
Trump
that can
boxers
actually,
and
go find you a Nigerian woman that can actually give you a child that you so desperately want, because that's what he truly wants.
Of course.
And be happy, man.
Well, my thing is like, one thing that she really bothered me when she said, if you really love me, it wouldn't matter if I could give you a baby. And that for me was so manipulative, because he does love her. But unfortunately, having a baby is important. He's gotta love her.
She's 60 and he's willing to be with her, and she's not attractive.
No. And
she's
like,
not a Halle Berry 60.
No. And so, like, you can't, like,
Kirby 60.
That's his aspirations. He wants to be a father. Like, she's a mother. Why can't he be a father?
Right, because it's not important if he's happy or not. Somebody actually, the homie Relly Scanelli, shouts to Relly.
I haven't heard that name in such a long time.
Yeah, he was like, I think she wants him to come here so she can be a slave. And I was like, maybe not in the 1600s
no, but like,
word, but I'm like, I don't think you're also
you're not
far
wrong.
off. Right. So that was
help
funny.
him with all those goddamn grandbabies.
Oh God! And then he hasn't even dealt with that yet.
No, God, it's gonna be a mess, and I can't.
sincerely hope somebody talks some sense into him. Please, no. We need to start a GoFundMe to keep him there. Like, we'll send you the money, just don't come.
Yeah, no, don't come.
All right.
I'll let you get a job.
From the Happily Ever After crew.
Kehlani
from Happily Ever After, yeah.
No.
Not from the whole shows, but from that series, yeah. Happily Ever After?
No, we also have Colt and Larissa.
Oh, I don't think I pulled them up, so there may not be a picture of them.
That's fine.
I'll do that as you talk.
Alrighty, so Kehlani and Asuelu. Obviously.
What would their combined name be? Asuelu? No? Did I just ruin you there? Sorry.
Aslani,
I like that. All right, go on.
Sorry, I was like trying to like mash their their names together. Alrighty. So, week prior, his mom was like, "Send me $1,000," and he was like, "You get 5."
He was trying to give 100. He's saying $5.
All right. So Asuelu goes to meet with his mom and his sister, and he brings all the gifts, right? And as soon as he sits down after he gives gifts, and everybody's like, "Oh, thank you, Asuelu. We love you. Gifts.
Why you do it just in the way they said, "Thank you, Asuelu"?
Because that's what happened.
I know. I just laugh because you got I got
it down.
Tone right. Yeah.
But as soon as those are passed out, after Christmas is done and all the wrapping paper is everywhere, they get down to business, and they're like, "So what happened? What happened to my $800 that you owe me?"
Is that what she said?
No, but essentially,
basically.
And they just start going in. They start saying, "Are you still mad at us? Like,
he G'd up with some girl, man.
Like, why couldn't you give us money?" They go on to say some really insulting things, like.
He G'd up though. If there was a most improved person on this show, it would go to Asuelu. Because Asuelu, he straight G'd up.
Oh, he absolutely
he was like,
did.
They started going on his wife about his lifestyle, and he quietly stood up. He didn't cause a scene. He didn't freak out. He's like, "I'm out." Gave everybody little hugs, and then he jetted out the door. He didn't even make a thing of it.
So his family basically said that Kehlani manipulates him into giving his hard-earned money to her and not to his family. Yeah. And he's like, "No, her money's my money, my money's her money."
Yeah, he G'd up, man. He's been a G this whole time.
This is a marriage. And they're like, "Well, she's American, so she should be able to afford to feed us, Like, we're your family first. Yeah. She's just someone who married in. Like,
well, and,
she's just a baby making machine. She doesn't matter. We just care about money."
Well, see, I try to always remember where people's mind frames come from. And that's how their society is, though. And like, while I think they're wrong for seeing Asuelu as a dollar sign, that's their culture. Like, their culture is built the same way we talk about Michael's culture and, the submissiveness of the women there. Like, these are cultural things that have been instilled within them. So I think it's just really difficult for them to understand what's going on. But the problem is they're not trying to. And they're not making an effort to like.
I think for me, what takes it a step further is now they're being really disrespectful to Kehlani.
Yeah,
and they're doing that on purpose because they're basically saying, if you didn't have a baby with her, you wouldn't be with her, and you'd be a good Samoan son.
Well, I mean, I think their pregnancy did kind of cement the relationship.
Of course,
you know what I
mean. But then the next day, Asuelu doesn't tell Kehlani anything that his family said. She knows that they're upset with him and that he's upset with them, but he doesn't say anything to her about what was said, which I think was a really smart move.
Yeah, he sat on it. That's what I'm saying. He's G'ing up this whole time. I've gotten a lot of.
I think Lo would be really proud.
Huh?
Lo would be proud.
Who?
Kehlani's dad. The scary one.
No, you said Flo. I'm like, what does she have to do with this conversation?
Like, progressive, how are you going to work that one in?
I'm like, I don't think that fits. No, yeah, I think he's really becoming a man in this situation, and he's not. He's not allowing their influence to penetrate what he knows in his heart, and he's. I've been impressed with him. I think of this whole series, the person I'm impressed with the most at this point is him.
Yes, so we've seen a lot of growth from him.
Yeah, because he was cussing her out and crying and locking himself in rooms, and now he's like. He's manning up.
Yeah. So basically the next day they go to a goat farm.
which was kind of dope. I was laughing when the little dude was running after her, and she kind of like, she's like, "Please, no more chasing of the goats."
Yeah, so they had 15 goats, and I don't like goats. Goats are mean AF. I do not like them. They will eat your hair. They're garbage cans. Like, I've never met a nice goat.
I am the goat, so you got a problem with me?
Yeah, I do.
Bars, son. Bars. All right.
You know what? You're just mad at me because you're not watching the goat right now.
Yeah, yeah, because you don't want me to be happy. Anyway, I don't. Go on.
So Kehlani and the kids, Asuelu, meet with his mom. I don't remember her name. Mother Asuelu.
Mama Lou.
Mom. And once again, they're talking about money as soon as they get there.
As soon as they pull up. Hey, where the money at?
And so they're trying to explain to her that they can't give her any money. And she's like, well, if he was a good Samoan man, he'd make enough for everybody.
And that's a really bogus thing to say too. Like, you want him carteling it out? Is he supposed to sell drugs? Like, how do you expect him to do that?
He works at a yogurt shop with samples. I'm angry.
Clearly,
angry.
I can see that.
And he said that Asuelu was saying that in Samoa you can grow a lot of your own food and stuff like that, so it's a lot cheaper to live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think they live in huts. I don't think they have internet.
All right. Well,
I could be wrong.
That's a conversation for another day.
Anyways.
Probably. Possibly.
He says that if he gives Mama Asuelu his money, how is he supposed to keep his kids alive?
Yeah. You know what else is good too? Like, him crying this time was appropriate and well timed.
He went hardcore. Like, my kids will die.
Yeah, well, but it fit that situation. Sure. Like, he's cried in the past where I'm like, son, you got to stop crying. But this situation, and I can tell the exasperation he had gone through. He's like, I'm sick of this conversation. I've given you what I have. But I contend he should have left that same night. The night they started off.
I wouldn't. I don't know that I can meet with him again. I would be done.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, we'll enjoy time here. But
when she got up from the table, pounded her fist, I'd be like, all right, bet.
We're going to go to Forks, Washington, or I think it's in Oregon. We're going to go see the Twilight stuff and be done.
A lot of weird stuff coming out from.
It's fine. It's fine. But Mama Asuelu says, don't cry, my son, but still give me money.
I need that money. She has not moved off of that money.
And Kehlani's face was like this the whole time. Like, at the camera, she was having real gym moments.
Didn't know what to
do.
Was like, yeah, she was. She didn't know what to do.
And in one of her cutaways, she goes, "This bitch is crazy."
That's Kehlani. She'd be fun to drink with.
Oh yeah, I think she'd be a fun. And so is Asuelu. I love all his TikToks. I think he does Savage better than Meg Thee Stallion does.
So to wrap up the episode, you see the sister like trying to charge at Kehlani.
Yes.
I don't think I'm not feeling like Kehlani's the one you want to do that to. She looked like she might have a mean left hand. I don't know. I think you might want to leave that alone.
She's not timid and she's not shy. She's reserved. And she does not play.
Kehlani?
Yes.
I don't see her as reserved, but
well, I think she's like really even killed, I guess. Yeah. And so I don't. When it comes to her husband and her kids, she is not like the one to test. Like, I think she'll go to Pound Town. No, too sexual.
I don't know that.
Fine, she will ground and pound.
That's better than going to Pound.
My bad. Yeah. Okay, fine. It's not anything gross, but like, I think that she'd be holding his sister by the hair and smashing her face in the curb.
She would give her the business. That's not even a question.
I'm surprised she had
okay.
That was better?
All right.
Than Pound Town? I'm trying to make up for Pound Town. I don't know what to do now.
I need you to stop with the references.
Okay. All right. I like 2 piece and a biscuit, but
no, she would have served her up for real. Yeah, she would have done some work.
Yeah, and so
did you see like the cutaway for the next episode? She's like, I would have dropped her. She's telling us
and she's in his face like, don't test me because I will beat the brakes off of her.
I want to know what was said that had her do that.
I don't know, because she ran up on her quick.
I bet Kehlani said something like, well, I bet she said something.
Oh, well, because that sister is very slick and it's like, that's not my business. And she's like, bitch, that's my fucking... I was really good. I was really good.
Yeah, you were.
Bish, that is my effing husband and you ain't gonna talk to him or me like that. Like,
the sister is by far the worst of the family.
And she's like, I send money back. I don't think that you do.
Well, and he said, yeah, but you've also been in the country for a lot longer than I have. Like, I just got here, man. Can I get 20 minutes to get my life together?
Dang.
So shouts to Asuelu. He's my MVP, most improved person, MIP.
MIP?
Yes, my MIP.
Cute.
All right, man. Last but not least, I gotta put them on the screen since you forgot to tell me about them.
How far? Oh, we are 59 minutes into this episode, man. We still got a whole nother show to cover.
So good. We're gonna roll through them because I think some of them don't require as much conversation. So we should be able to roll through them a little quicker. We still got Larissa and Coti
and Larissa. And Mama Debbie. Mama Colt.
So what happened with them last episode? Was it really anything worth talking about with them?
Let's see. We'll start with Colt.
That's you, bro.
That's not me.
Yes, it is.
I don't think that's me.
All right, doesn't matter. Keep going.
It's you.
All right, well, keep going.
Okay. I just don't want it to pick up.
Just keep going, man. It's all
Sorry.
good.
All right. So Colt is still in Brazil, and he tells the cameras that just showed up shouting in Portuguese at 3 a.m. with the guy. Unfortunately, the guy was security, so it wasn't actually like security. Yeah, he brought her back to her room.
That's funny.
So it wasn't like
she wasn't getting in.
Yeah, she wasn't going to Pound Town. With the ex, she only said that to make him angry, which I get. Not okay, but I get. And so the thing that he does, he likes to gaslight, and he likes to flip the script. Are you okay?
It's not me, fam.
It is you.
So there's something playing in the background right now. Then where is it? I had nothing but pictures open. How can it be me?
Oh, it's me. It was my phone. It wasn't my computer. So
I've been trying to tell him.
Oh my God, there's 100 notifications on Instagram.
You might want to check that.
That's alarming.
Check it while we talk.
Anyways,
it's probably just a chat.
Probably. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, he gaslights.
Yeah, gaslights.
He gaslights. So he goes in the morning and he was like, "Man, you acted just like the Ritza. You left like." You were going really nuts. You threw shoes at me. Like, I can't believe that you have a temper like that. And, like,
while never apologizing for lying to her continually.
Never. And it's never like, hey, I lied about this, and I can see why you were super upset. I don't like how you acted, but how I acted wasn't okay either. It wasn't like, hey, we both did wrong things. But she kind of saw through it very quickly.
Did she though? Because she ended up apologizing and being
she did apologize to him, but yes.
She never asked for an apology. She never made him explain himself. She never did anything.
No, not that we saw.
She was just like, okay.
And so she says that she was out of control, but she was so angry, and normally that's not her. And so they agree that he needs to man up and not let Mama Debbie like impose on the relationship anymore, and that he needs to kind of like separate from that. And he says he hasn't told her anything about the fight. And they decide to make up.
Yeah, I don't think this one requires a lot of additional.
No.
Like.
Asks Jess to come to the airport.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to go anywhere. I mean, eventually they're going to get together. They're going to move in together. Debbie's going to cause a problem. I think eventually they get through it. I do think they end up together. I do.
Debbie's face was very upset, though, when she saw them walking together. Like into the lobby to get in the car.
Yeah.
And she's like, we need to talk about last night in the van.
Oh, now that part was worth discussing. Yeah, because out of nowhere she says that they riding along peacefully and quietly. And Debbie's like, and props to Jess, she was just kind of like, I don't want to talk about Vanessa. I don't want to talk to you. I'm good. She wasn't really having much of it.
So Jess says, hey, like, I'm upset because he lied. And Debbie's like, no, he didn't. Jess was like, yeah, he did. Like, you're not going to tell me that he wasn't. And then she's like, well, you called me a bitch. And she's like, I didn't call you a bitch. I called Vanessa one. And I'm going to say it again.
She sure did, too.
She was very
no problem
clear.
Repeating herself.
Very, very clear. And then Colt says maybe she can meet Vanessa when she comes to Vegas. But Jess was like, nah, bruh. Like, if I see her, 2-piece skin and biscuit.
Yeah, she was. Let it go, man. Got to give up on it. Yeah, she was very quick to say she don't, and I don't blame her, man. Like,
no, because he lied continually. Debbie lied and then was like, oopsie. Like, you didn't know what happened. What? Like, she did it on purpose.
Tonight, man. You animated tonight.
I had coffee.
Yeah. So.
And that's that. He didn't propose, but he did invite her to come to Las Vegas to meet all his cats.
She'll go to Las Vegas. They'll have some fights there because Debbie ain't the biggest problem in their relationship. Is gonna be Debbie. I think they actually are okay. I mean, if he can stop lying and being trash, but he probably won't.
Now moving on to Larissa and Eriki.
Yeah.
Larissa's case is now done. She's completed everything she needs to complete. She's good to go. She's no longer. She got down to
yeah, we can fast forward through that one. Basically, the next episode, she's gonna ask dude to buy her some titties, and I don't think he wants
14,
to. Yeah.
Ow.
Which Larissa, you gotta stop asking people to purchase plastic surgery for you. Start stripping.
Pay for it yourself.
OnlyFans, whatever you gotta do, but pay for it yourself, man. I think she could really find some happiness if she stops relying on men to do things.
Oh yeah, and do it herself. I think I still go back to, hey, you need counseling, and I think that'll make you feel better because she's already had plastic surgery once. She gets fillers and stuff, and she's still not happy. So for me, that means hey, there's something mentally wrong that you need to fix, and that's okay. But you're taking care of yourself physically, but not mentally, right? And that's not a healthy balance.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't really. Do you have more?
No, that's all.
They're kind of open shut. I don't think they end up working. And look, I blocked my face for half of this. Didn't even realize it. That's funny. Yeah. I just they're not gonna work out if she can't figure out how to rein it in a bit. So going to the other way now. So we got the homie Brittany, who is
and Azan. Yeah,
she's doing the right things, man. I think.
No,
Brittany,
she is not.
What you mean?
No, she is not.
How isn't she doing the right things?
How is she?
Because she's dressing the part now. She's trying to learn their customs. She went to church with them.
We included Devin and Jihoon on the other one, briefly, but it's fine. Go ahead. So who we're talking about? We're talking about Brittany and Yasmin.
Anyway, so I think she's doing the right thing. She's learning about the culture. She dressed up the right way when she went to talk to the parents. They got the uncle on their side. They sat down with him, and now they're willing to give them enough time to let the dad come out. So I think,
absolutely.
The marriage thing, I'm still waiting for her to dissolve that and deal with that. That's gonna be the problem.
Yeah. So Unc decided, hey, he talked to the family saying, hey, you don't want them to get divorced. Because they don't know each other.
Game on them. Yeah, I mean,
and then they're
thinking that anyway.
They're oh, you're kind of smart. Yeah. Duh. But I agree with you. Her still being a married woman is such a big deal.
That's not
you think they don't like her now? Ooh.
They were calling her prostituta.
They're gonna think your wife's a prostitute.
Yeah, they really gonna think it after she says, "Oh, by the way, I was married." So. Not a ton to report for them for the last episode either. They got the extension, so she got about a month to get more solidified within Islam, and then Dad'll be out in a month. So
maybe he can bring the divorce papers with him.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be their problem. I think they'll work through it though. I believe in them. Of all the couples right now, so I'll ask you this question right now: of all the couples, who do you believe in the most right now?
Who do I believe
from both shows?
I believe in Jihoon and Devin.
Ugh. Not I.
I believe in Kenneth and Armando.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine is Brittany and Yazin, and then so let's get into Kenneth and Armando. But why Devin and them?
You know what? Because she loves him clearly. He loves her clearly. He is very, very new to parent. We're gonna get when we talk about this. He's very new to parenting.
All right.
Okay. Kenneth and Armando celebrate their engagement with family and friends. So they are at dinner. They're having a good time, and then Mr. Old Silver Fox says, hey, when we go meet your family in a couple weeks, you gonna tell them that you engaged? And he was like,
he gotta stop pushing them for that, man. I mean, their family isn't gonna have as big of an impact on their relationship as his will.
I don't think so.
So it's kind of it's not like he's hiding him either. So I don't.
No, because he's going there to meet them. Right. I think for me, I don't think it's wise to tell them that they're engaged at that point.
I think.
Reason being is because they're about to take Hannah, right? Yeah. And his family has never lived without that little girl. And so you're putting so much on top of them that they're going to explode.
I mean, I don't even know if it's going to be an explosion. There's going to be a lot of crying and awkwardness because they don't seem like they'll be violent or they'll be crazy.
Not violent.
His mom seems pretty well controlled. His sister.
But his dad, we don't know how that's going to be.
But them old Hispanic dudes, they don't really do the wild, and they just kind of quietly.
I don't know. I think slurs might be thrown.
That could be the case. But I mean,
and that's hard. But that's hard to come back from.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Armando's tough. I think Kenneth is tough. I think there's a child coming down the stairs. I think that they'll be okay. The biggest thing that they're gonna have to overcome is being together in public.
What do you mean, Mama?
Because as we already saw, they're trying to like have dinner, and they're trying to have dinner and they really can't, because somebody called them out their name when they were going to leave,
and so he cries because he touched Kenneth's arm.
I'll give you a hug, but you gotta go lay down, kid. Come on. Go potty, please.
Go on. You're not on camera. Get out of here.
So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that they're gonna have to work through is like
well, that's my thing is like about the slurs. Like you see how Kenneth reacts when someone calls him that when he's out in public, who is no relation to him.
Well, Kenneth would seem like he was like, yeah, but Armando was like
he was really upset. He was really upset. So my thing is like if his family goes like that, can you imagine how he's going to react?
Yeah, I mean, we have to get over. The thing is, it's just words. You're gonna have to just get over it.
I don't know because in Mexico, it's I agree that they are just
start
words.
Getting physically assaultive, that's a different story.
I think that's his real main like concern is that if they're out and they're with Hannah and then someone pops off and says something like,
I do think they should probably keep the PDA to a minimum while they're out.
I agree. I agree.
I know it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of the situation.
And it's sad, but you love each other, and that's that. You guys sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, like, this is one of my couples to make it. I think the two couples I think will make it Brittany and Yazan and these two. And
I mean, can we just admire how happy like Armando is?
Oh, he was
like
beaming.
He's just like radiating.
He's beaming. Yeah, Willie beaming. All right, let's move on. What, Willie beaming? All the stuff you said tonight that was.
Thank you, Mamacita.
You pound down and whatnot, and you judging me for Willie beaming. Come on, honey. All right, so getting into Biniam and Ariella.
Benny,
is that what they call him?
That's what she called him.
So
you better have undies on. All right, go on. Love you.
Love you, kiddo. So I do think that they're gonna be in a world of hurt. I think there are storms on the horizon in this relationship. Reason being is that his job ain't gonna continue to work while she's pregnant and having the baby.
Oh, because he's bongoing on someone's
Because he's
wop?
bongoing booty cheeks.
Wop.
And he's out late nights. Eventually, that's gonna get old. He's out late nights. He ain't helping with the baby in the morning. He ain't getting up for nothing.
No. But also, so I think one of the reasons it's going to be an issue is because Biniam is Christian. Right?
Oh yeah, that was a huge thing that episode. That was actually a big focus of the episode.
Ariella is Jewish, and basically she was going to be okay with the child being baptized, the little boy being baptized as Christian, because she also comes from her parents who have different religious beliefs as well. Her mom is Catholic, her dad is Jewish, therefore she is Jewish. She doesn't believe in hell. She thinks it's a weird thing. She doesn't like it. It's very scary. But they went into the church and basically the priest or pastor.
You must suckle a Christian breast.
Yeah. So the child cannot be baptized if the mother is not baptized because the baby needs to suckle from a teat.
A Christian teat. I wanted him to be like, hey, we need a Christian titty. Yeah. I was just hoping he was going to say that too.
Yeah. And that is very, very weird. And obviously she's not really willing. It doesn't look.
Her titty is of the Jewish faith. What?
Jewett?
Jewett?
That sounds like Hewitt.
All right, moving on.
Anyways, if she isn't willing to convert, they can't baptize her child. She looks really shocked, but isn't really wanting to sacrifice that for the relationship because she's already sacrificing so much. And he was like, this is important to me. And then he also met with his family too. And his family is like, yo, bro, you've done this once. You're about to do this twice.
Well, I think my thing about it is who's going to make the sacrifice? Because one of them has to make the sacrifice. Either the baby is not going to be baptized as a Christian or she's going to have to basically renounce her faith. And I think it's a lot to ask a person to renounce their faith. I also feel
already moving across the country, across the world.
I also feel like this should not be the issue it is. And I feel bad for them. You know what I mean? Like there should be some kind of pass given. Like, this is a special circumstance where like she should be able to talk to a rabbi in her church and say, hey, I got this issue. Okay. I love this man. I want to do what I need to do for him. I don't want to renounce my faith, but I have to do this. How do we find a balance? Because you shouldn't have to, like, it shouldn't be a renouncing of your faith if you're doing something like this for somebody you love. You know what I mean?
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Because how many different gods are there? Is there a Jewish God? Is there an Orthodox Christian God? Is there a Lutheran God? Like, how many?
There's a ton of them. I mean, for me, I just feel like he is basically, for me, I feel like he's saying you have to do this because it's important to me.
No, he didn't say that. He told her it was important to him, but he didn't make it seem like she had to do it. Not to me.
For me, it felt like he was very much like, I'm not going to budge on this. And you're like,
where did you get that from?
That.
What did he say that made you? I didn't get that at all.
That's just the vibe I got.
Oh, because he sounded like he was just like, it's very important to me. He was open to her about it, but it didn't seem like he was like, you have to do this or else. He was just like, yeah, this means a lot to me.
Well, I think also because he's getting a little pressure from his family, because he was like, the child will be raised with my customs, my faith, like will be raised under me, because his first child got put back to the States because they broke up, right? And so they're saying, you know, what's going to happen if she leaves? Whose fault is it? Because it wasn't just you who went through it last time. It was all of us. And if she does it, whose fault is it? Like, it's his fault, right?
Well, that's all the more reason why he might need to find a compromise.
That's my thing. Is like he has much more to lose.
And she's already made a huge sacrifice. I don't think it's fair to keep asking her to sacrifice. She went from a comfortable, actually above comfortable. Her family's well off. I mean, went from like a nice life to third world Ethiopia. So
like, exactly.
And there's no disrespect to any Ethiopian folks that may see this. It just is what it is.
They live very, very different lives, and she has sacrificed so much to be with the man that she loves, and he isn't willing to sacrifice that.
So who budges?
He needs to.
You think he does it?
No.
You think she budges? You think she gives up her faith?
I do not.
So they just end up in some kind of weird limbo?
She's going to go back to the States.
I don't see her going back to the States.
Ultimately, I think that she's going to go back to the States.
I see her, if she does, it won't be soon. It'll be after like a year or two. I can't see her doing
I can see after baby's born, she's going to go back to the States.
I can't see her doing it like now.
Like, she's going to give him a lot of chances.
Did they even have anything in this episode? Because I ain't trying to waste time if they didn't. Tim and Melissa?
No.
They weren't in the last episode, right? Goodbye, Tim and Melissa.
Adios.
What did we get new from Jenny and Sumi?
Oh, my
gosh. Did we get anything new here?
They painted a wall, and it was terrible.
They painted a wall like bloody stool brown.
Yo, but we did learn that they have a base white, and they have to mix their own colors with their hands.
They did.
A little bit, yeah.
That's cool.
Basically, they're going to meet with his family at their house. And that's that. And she's just like, oh, I don't know about that.
She's so scared.
And
I saw them in action. And
yeah, well, she's scared that they're going to kidnap him again, which I feel like is a very healthy fear because that already happened.
I just feel like she should have bossed up the first time. Like, yeah, y'all need to chill and stood up. I feel like she was cowering in a corner last time they came over.
She's in a foreign country and they could call the police on her and have her arrested. I would be cowering in the corner too.
I don't know.
And adultery is like very...
I'm going to be in an Indian jail.
I don't know. Adultery is like kind of serious over there, so...
I don't know, man. But I feel like sometimes you gotta, like, you know, when Brittany walked out on the family over at Yazan's spot.
Yeah, that's because Mama was like.
But my point is, she stood up and was like, "I'm not going for this. Mama, you're not gonna sit up here and yell in my face. I'm out." Yeah. Like sometimes I do feel like you have to stand up for yourself. Period. Like walking away is still like a show of like you're not gonna make me feel like this. You know, so I think Jenny needs to G up a little bit more, especially now that they're trying to come to a resolution. She's like, I don't want to be there for that. You need to be there for the conversation. You need to speak up for yourself. You need to defend your love.
Right.
One thing we talked about that I really want to touch on with this real quick is that these two really do love each other, though. Like, there's really no incentive for either one of them. Oh,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
and it is like, because he ended his marriage. He's going against his parents. He's going against his friends to be with this woman.
And it's not like he's looking to get to the U.S. It's not like he's looking to have a baby with her. It's not like there's not a lot of like, you know, there's not a lot of incentive for either one of them to go through what they're going through. So, what do you think going forward? Do you think how do you think the conversation goes with the parents?
I think it's going to go okay.
You think they finally let it go and let him?
I think so.
I think so too. Does that mean they get kicked off the show because they're not interested anymore?
No, they're still going to have a lot of trials and tribulations. She's a 6-year-old white woman with a 30-year-old Indian guy in India. There's going to be issues.
I mean, but she's made it over there for a while already.
Yeah, they just haven't focused on that side of things. And I honestly don't think she leaves the house.
I wouldn't.
Me either.
All right. Last but not least, Megan Fox knock off right there. And she looks very Megan Fox-ish in that picture.
Okay. Alrighty. So we left them off. Dun, dun. They left off.
What?
Drusilla was running into the street. Jihoon sprinted quickly. And Devin was like, you piece of go get my kid. Because we weren't all watching her.
He turned around and stopped and said, don't yell at me.
Yeah.
And then let her continue running the street.
And then she was saved. She, and
he looked like a K-pop man.
He does. He's very pretty.
Too.
No. Yeah. Do you think that it was all Jihoon's fault? Let's start off with this. Was it just Jihoon's fault that Drusilla ran off into the street at night?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. There were 3 adults there.
I guess she was holding his hand, but even still. Do I think he's culpable? Yes. Do I think he shouldn't have stopped and been like, don't yell at me? That was dumb. That was dumb.
That was saved for after.
But he's just learning to be a dad. The guy has had no home training. His parents don't give him much game in the parenting situation. His mom's an apologist. His dad don't say nothing. He really doesn't have a lot of good.
No. And he hasn't had a lot of time with a 3 or 4-year-old or however old Drusilla is.
And I can't defend everything Jihoon's done because he's lied a lot and done some stupid stuff.
I agree.
But they put a lot of pressure. Everybody is putting so much pressure on him. Like, he's only one person. He can't make Drusilla behave better. She's been bad since the day she was born. How's that his fault?
Yeah, and that is parenting from Devin and Mama Devin. I think her name's Alicia, so I know that one. But she's Mama Devin.
They all jump on him all the time. Oh, like they're always jumping on him.
Absolutely. He blinks wrong and like, you should have done that because of her daughter.
Your blink wasn't right.
And so I think that they're all culpable there. He did sprint after her as fast as he could, and we all saw that. Devin was screaming at him. Alicia was screaming at him as well.
See, Alicia is catching up to her. I mean,
and so I think again, all of them are aware, and I think that Devin is being a little naive. By saying, like, you're a father, like, you're not being a good one. Yeah, because he's an instant father. Like, his actual baby is only a few months old, and now you're bringing a 4-year-old who has spent very limited time, who hasn't been a main caretaker. You were leaving it in his hands, and he's not supposed to make any mistakes. Yeah, it could have been a really bad one, and she could have gotten hit by a car, but she didn't. And so now it's a teachable moment. And now he knows. He already feels guilty. He's bawling his eyes out.
Yeah, like that's his baby. Cares. He's not out here just being reckless.
No.
You know? It's not like he told her, hey, go across the street and get something for me. She just... And then I go back to this. Our child is energetic and crazy. There's no way she would ever run off.
No, not like that. Not at 3, not at 4. And so what happened was then Alicia picked up Drusilla and then screamed at Jihoon, was cursing.
Well, and I don't think most of the time when you pick her up, you get down to her level and you say, you do not, you like.
Oh, and that would be my first instinct.
Nothing like that happened.
That would be my first thing is you don't ever run away from me like that. You could have seriously gotten hurt and like that's that. Like you need to instill that fear to understand like, hey, that's really serious. And obviously have that conversation in Jihoon, but everyone's senses are so heightened at that moment. You're running off adrenaline and you're freaking out. And so they really went harsh on him, especially her mom. And so Jihoon's like crying and he's like, I'm trying to be the best that I can. I'm really trying. I love you.
Well, she's like, if you kill my grandbaby, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, she's like, if I have to scrape my baby off the ground, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, you need to back off, Mom.
Like the homie clearly, and he did the right thing. He said, I want to apologize to your mom. He didn't have to do that. Because guess what? She's getting on the plane. She's going back to the U.S. He ain't have to do that.
No.
So Jihoon is improving to me as well. Maybe not as quickly as Asuelu, but he's definitely like trying to be the person they want him to be, and it's not easy. But he's making his efforts, man. I think the biggest takeaway from all these 90 Day shows is like because they're forced into something so quick, everybody expects everybody to change and just to understand what they're supposed to do, and it just don't work like that.
And my thing is Devin knew who he was when she married him.
Yeah, he was
right. He was lying back then. Right. He's been irresponsible since then. And having 3 children, I think we both know that how quickly kids turn on things. Like they move so quickly. They're like rats, right? They can squeeze through a quarter-size hole. Kids can do crazy things even if you're watching them.
You comparing the kids to rats.
I mean, is it not true though?
I didn't say. I'm not commenting on that.
I mean, that's no hilarious. Joke. Like you can literally be cooking dinner. Okay, so one time, not to get really sidetracked because it's a long podcast, longer. I was cooking dinner one time when Izzy was probably like, I don't know, 2 or 3.
Blame me for something. Hang on here.
No. I was cooking dinner. You weren't home. And I turn around. You know what she's doing? Playing in the toilet and trying to flush a whole roll of toilet paper down the toilet.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that, that happens.
Yeah.
Like, is it great? Was I being a neglectful parent? Like, but never did it again.
Yeah.
Like, but that's just what kids do, and I think that it's really unfair that he can't do anything right in their eyes, and it makes me feel bad for him. I do think that he is going to grow and learn to be the man that he needs to be for her, but I do think that she is a little harsh on him.
Well, and I go back to, like, okay, the thing about having kids is you are directly responsible for what they become. You are. I mean, granted, you can't have control over everything, but because they're yours, you have a large portion of responsibility for what they become. If they become, unless they have a mental disorder, right?
Right.
Which Ji-hoon doesn't.
No.
So, watching his mom, I can clearly see where he gets a lot of his stuff from. And I don't think he's had the greatest support system in parenting.
Agreed.
Because
she does everything for him.
She does everything for him, and then when he makes mistakes, well, he's a Korean boy. That's what they do.
That's it.
So I think Ji-hoon is having a crash course in how to be a man, and it's tough.
And that's not to say that Devin is wrong for how, like, I don't think that she's wrong for how she feels about him and how she feels like he's not ready to be a father. I don't think that she's wrong in that feeling, but how she's treating him and how.
Because why you move across the world then?
I don't know. Because
you got to make a better choice on that. You know?
Yeah, it is. And she has acknowledged that she thinks that she's made a bad decision. But I don't agree with her mom going off like that. I don't care how upset we are. My mom would never talk to you like that because that's not okay.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Ever. Like, I will say that to you, but I'll be damned if she says anything like that.
Well, and see, that's what I have a big problem with a lot of these women and how they deal with their families. Like we talked about with Libby and not ever checking Chuck or Charlie.
No. Or her sisters.
Devin
or her mom is like
hasn't
just non-existent,
really checked
apparently.
his mom.
Like,
Who's
ever.
mom?
Libby's mom. Like, does she even exist? Is she alive? Like, I don't know.
But Devin's got to check her mom. Mom, no. You don't need to talk to him like that. You know, like she's also got to step up and be like, all right. Because when his mom came over to try to talk, when they were talking, he was like, no.
Nah, you get
this. She was like, no, this is between me and her. I'm begging you. Please go away. So you have to control your family too. And a lot of these people don't do a good job of controlling their families.
But it's back to boundaries, right?
Yeah.
So the beginning of our episode, we had the theme boundaries and am I the asshole?
Boundaries. That's the name of this episode is
90s and boundaries.
No, just
90s and boundaries?
No.
Do you want this 2-piece?
No. In the biscuit. All right, so I was going to ask you this. Which couple do you think is in the most trouble right now? We'll wrap up on that.
Oh, geez. Pending trouble or like current trouble?
Okay, which couple right now, based on everything going on, has the least chance of working out? I guess
from the other way?
From both of them.
Devin and Ji-hoon.
They have the least chance of working out?
Oh, least chance of working out.
Yeah, I'm saying like in the most trouble, like they may not make it.
Oh, I think like in the most like troublesome right now. Let's see.
While you do that, I am going to go Michael and Angela. I think they're 2 steps from
obviously.
Yeah. I think that's about a wrap.
Yeah,
and I can't wait. And then I can't wait for to tell her when Michael like talks bad about her and tells her what a terrible person she actually is.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait either. Like that's gonna be a good time.
So are you in agreement with me, or are you gonna go a different route here? And you gotta decide quickly because my stomach is telling me I gotta take a poop. So
I am going to go Tanya and Sinjin.
Yeah, they're in some big trouble. They're in some. They actually might be in more trouble than Michael and them because you know Angela, she does a lot of talking and then she'd be like Michael.
Yeah, you can see all like that, right? Like you can see where that's gonna end.
But the Tanya and Sinjin thing,
that's gonna be rough.
I really don't think he wants to leave South Africa. So
rough.
All right, that's it, man. We'll see y'all next week. Let us know in the comments below if you happen to check this out. Which couple you think is in the most trouble? Who your worst parent is out of all the parents on the episode? And
I keep on looking there, like the camera's there, but it's not there. It's there.
And that's it.
That's
See you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Peace.